Hey, I'm James Michael.
I'm Nikki Sixx.
I'm DJ Ashba.
And this is PureGrainAudio. Oh, and we're 6 a.m. No, not at all. Not at all. We are not a political band. Our first single, Rise, certainly is appropriate for the times, especially for the climate of what's going on, in the United States right now with the election cycle, but more so about what's going on in the world. This is a time for people to try to start setting their differences aside and come together and rise up and really try to make, change for the positive. But no, Prayers for the Damned actually really speaks to what 6 a.m. has always been about lyrically and message-wise, which is it's that inherent struggle between good and evil, on a very global level, but also on a very personal level.
The very beginning.
Right at the very beginning. There was no doubt in our mind that that's what we wanted to do. That being said, being a double album can have it's left a bad taste in a lot of people's mouths. They get that double album and they get halfway through the second record and they go, just kind of sounds like leftovers. So the idea behind the double album is 2 complete albums on their own. And whatever we wrote over here, like Prayers for the Damned, we knew that we needed a sister song or a brother song or a song that's related to it, maybe tempo-wise, probably not conceptually wise, that lived over here. Now, Prayers for the Damned is such a good song. Well, this one can't be anything less. And it just kept going and going and going. And as the songs started to develop, we found there was no fat. We wrote 28, close to 30 songs. We're putting 22 songs out all in this year, but 11 come April 29th. And you get to absorb them, fall in love with them, get to know them, not like them, whatever you want, get to see us live. And then in September or October, we're going to give you another 11 songs and give you the same opportunity. And by 2017, you will have had 22 songs, got to absorb them, and when we do more touring, we'll be able to cherry pick from those 2 albums and our history to play live.
I don't remember
that little. That's how big of a fight it was. It was that little section. Sometimes.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And James had this kind of a. I don't know. I thought it was.
I was right and he was wrong, but we had to work through the whole process and let him feel like he was getting what he wanted.
It was one of these things where the song is just crushing, and then it just kind of came in. And for me, I was like, "There's got to be another way to do it." And literally, in 6 a.m. land, for about 1 minute, he's like, "I don't know what your problem is with this." And I go, "Well, I'm going to tell you what my problem is." And then after that, we're like, "Okay, well, let's try some options." And that's how it is for us. We don't really fight.
What's cool about 6 a.m. is we leave our egos outside the door. We sit down in a circle, grab some acoustics, laugh our way through these albums, and we just have the time of our lives. But we try everything. We don't turn down. There's no such thing as a bad idea.
Yeah.
We try everything.
Including that song. James and DJ were really, on it. They said, "No, man, we really believe in this." But you did try some ideas, though.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And I think we actually ended up closer back to what the original idea was, but we work it out. And that happens on every song. We don't actually fight very often. We really love pushing each other, though. Like, literally, I could say something to DJ about a guitar part. I'm on a guitar part, and he's like, "What did you just hum?" And he'll take it, or he'll say, "Hey, what if you do this on bass?" Or with the lyrics, we're always pushing and pulling. It's fascinating.
It's so unique what we have, and we've had it since day one. It is the perfect marriage. Some people go through their whole lives and never find the chemistry between 2 people, but we happen to find it between 3, which we really have something special, and we can feel it when we sit in a room and write songs together.
That's why it's so important to us that we are 6 a.m. But we have an extended family touring band. Dustin's a great addition to the band. We have 2 amazing background vocalists. And when we tour, there's 6 of us. So it doubles in size. And the sound doubles, and it gets bigger and bigger, and it's exciting, and they're nice people. They're great people. We love it. But at the core of everything, it is our friendship that drives the band.
Well, I've always mixed and produced 6am's records as well. That's just kind of we each have our roles in this band that are very natural, and that's just been my world. The process for producing or writing for or mixing any band or artist is always the same. It's about trying to reveal honesty within that artist or within the band. It's a little bit different in the 6am world because, of course, I'm having to produce my own vocals as well, but that's the great thing about having two partners that you trust and rely on so well, is that that we all, are very, very involved in every part of the creative process. And when there come those moments where you're not sure about something, you can always lean on DJ or Nikki to say, hey, am I heading in the right direction here? So it's a lot of work, as producing any record is, but with this band, it feels more like just part of the creative process. Working with a lot of other rock bands is nice because you're always, every day I learn something new. I learn something about the art of production, the art of mixing, and I try to get better and better every time. And there's a saying in the business, to be a hit producer, you have to produce a hit band, and these guys make me sound like a great producer.
I've always had a fascination with art. Ever since I was little, I would draw on paper plates, and then I had a cartoon in a newspaper for many years. And it's just, I was the kid they took out of school classes to paint the weight rooms and prom backdrops and blah, blah, blah. But, when it came down to this, I purposely have stayed away from the art end of things and just focused on the music with 6am. And we've had, Paul Brown, who's been amazing through so many albums of ours. And this is one where I just, felt, hey, I really want to jump in here and do something special for this. And we had a clear vision at the time of where the music was going, a great, concept of everything. And so we sat down and discussed different directions, ideas for the album cover. And I just shot something over to him that I saw in my head. And I thought it would kind of, just maybe spark some ideas. And they actually, wrote me back, and they're like, they loved it. So that they kind of, all right, this is good, and kind of took off from there. But the whole idea was to, just like the music, if you never heard or saw Volume 2, it has to tell a whole story all in itself.
When I was a kid, I wrote books full of poems and short stories. And I don't know why, but it's something I was attracted to. And when I see stuff, it kind of gets journaled, or I don't know how many times we're having a conversation, I go, that's a song title. Words to me are very important, and photography is a way of capturing kind of poetry, to be honest with you. There's a lot of beautiful flowers out there, and mountains and architecture, but it doesn't touch me the way human beings touch me. And I have a hard time walking down the street and not seeing stories, and it's exciting for me because I'm kind of always doing the same thing I did as a kid. I see something, I want to take a picture of it, I want to write a story about it. That's kind of how This Is Gonna Hurt happened. It was words and photos. So that's exciting for me, and I think it comes through in a lot of elements of my personality. I enjoy it.
When we look back at how we message things, it always kind of comes down to that struggle between good and evil, and it's almost like the food chain. One can't exist without the other, and we've always been fascinated by that. We've been fascinated by that dance between beauty and darkness. And I would say if there was an underlying theme of 6am music in general, it would be that.